Hi again. This is the third video I'm doing this morning on the 29th of August. So, as I spoke to you about in the previous two videos about shooting myself in the foot by going off track, to the table on the right which had all the bankers and all those that just totally stuffed me around, whereas at the forefront line was the people, right? Just looking after the people. And when I finished that last video I just did, what did I say? The best business I ever did was no business. That's true. See, back in 2000 I used to have a corporation called, or a company called Environment 3000, and we specialise in the development of sustainable villages and environmental projects, from the design of a particularly large environment technology park with 9 different zones. This was very impressive designs. So we had to do a lot of research in all the 9 different areas of the environment. So that's pretty good. And we're operating out of the top of a skyscraper. And then I did that money and new course I was talking about. And I was there, I was talking to these young people there. They were young, they were under 20. I said, what do you fellas want to do? And they said, we want to help our peers. Really? What's the problem? They said, we've got a lot of drug addiction, we've got a lot of mental disorders, a lot of problems with our peers. So really? I said, oh, okay. The next thing, I got a hold of this 2 research documents done by the Institute of Child Health Research here in Perth. And I was horrified with what I read. And the person in charge of the Institute of Child Health Research is Fiona Stanley. These surveys became world famous, duplicated all around the world by other governments. And the director, Fiona Stanley, became the Australian of the Year. Also, they named a $1 billion hospital after her. She's still alive. You name it after someone who's passed away, she's still alive. And that's how important these research stats were on the children. They researched the children aged 4 to 16 back in 1993. They found that 1 in 6, 18%, had a severe or significant mental health disorder. There was a total of 53,500, so we could fill our stadium with all these children and say they're all mentally ill and they should be in a mental health institution or a hospital. And only 2% of that 53,000 had any form, 53,500 had any form of contact with a mental health facility, which meant basically 52,000 went untreated, and now they are the parents of our DigiGen, and they are really, really mixed up. And, you know, we can't knock them for that. They had that horrible baby boomer generation for their parents. Mate, what do you expect? Because I'm one of them. I hated that generation that I was brought up in. This horrible people. So anyway, I was so disturbed by these stats, because the stats also said that of the ones that the adolescents, 18% were displaying suicidal behaviour, right, and 1/3 actually committed suicide or did self-harm. I was horrified with these stats. And so I said to my team, Environment 3000, I said, look, this is a socially sustainable problem, crisis for the future. If these are the parents of our future children, mankind's going to be in chaos, because they don't know life skills education, they don't know how to treat people with dignity and respect, they don't have any values, and they're dependent on drugs, and that's really going to spiral them downwards. So I said, hey, what about this idea? why don't we shut this operation down and go do something about it with these young people? And my team said, you're on, let's do it. All right. So we put together a PowerPoint presentation and we presented it to these young people. They were on the Money New course at Steve's Hotel in Netherlands. So they all rocked up, a very professional presentation, a lovely PowerPoint presentation. And I showed them stats and I said, is that correct from your generation? And by the way, by this time they were aged 12 to 24. I said, is this true stats that 1 in 6 of you had a significant mental health disorder? When I say that, I mean everything from ADHD to bipolar, to paranoid schizophrenia, paranoid psychosis, depression, you know, all these sort of things. And they all said, yep, I can name 5 out of my class of 30 that were psychopaths. I said, you're joking? And no, every one of them said, no, I can name 5 as well. So the stats were correct. Oh, I was horrified. I said, okay, do you want to do something about it? They said, you bet, we want to do something about it. I said, okay. So the government's not going to fix the problem because politicians aren't engineers. Engineers prevent things from going wrong and cure the cause of the problem. Politicians waste their time working out budgets and looking after their rich mates. They're not interested in helping you out. Forget it. That's not how it works. If you want to fix the problem with the suicide, with the homelessness, with the mental health disorders and everything else, you got to do it. It's got to come from within the culture because the older generation's got no idea what's going through your minds, how you're feeling, how you're suffering, and how your peers are trying to deal with the problems being led by their peers, like blind guides leading the rest of the years over the cliff. So you do need some experts to come in and help you out. Experts in harmony in a community, experts in social sciences, and creating social sustainability, experts in advanced human development technologies with life skills education to make you successful in life, regardless of your starting point. So I said, here's the proposal. The money, first of all, needs to come from within the culture. If it comes from the government, money's got energy. If it comes from the government, it's corrupt. And there's conditions they're going to put on you, and they're going to basically screw you and make sure it's very difficult for you to do and operate your charity, which is the case today with charities. The moment they expose the government for anything wrong, the government cuts the funding, so they've got control on them. So no, you don't want government intervention, you don't want them telling you how to run your charity, and you need to do it yourselves. So here's the deal. I'm willing to give my time for a year to help you create a charity to help your peers. But the money must come from within your culture, children and young people's culture. Right? The moment it comes from government, it's corrupt. The moment it comes from corporate, it's corrupt. Right? And they only want to soften the face of their corporation, increase their good name, their branding, goodwill. They'll give you money, but it's got conditions to go with it. No, money's got to come from within the culture. So here's the deal. My team and I will work with you, provide our services for free, my corporate expertise for free. I'll be the president, set it up. You run it, we'll train you. We'll bring the experts or the support organisations to make this work. They said, you're on. All right. So the video I'm going to do later on today is about the Wolsey charity. Here it is. All right. There it is. That's the greatest charity ever. I'm going to do a video today about it. Right. So here's all the information. Right. We set it up, and just some of the things they did with all the graphics and everything, and you can see here the promotions and things. Here's some more on the promotions and things. There's our team, aren't they lovely? Right, they led the way. Those there are tickets and things given to us by support organisations to look after our children in crisis. So we did it. It was the best thing I ever did in business. Was no business. I didn't get paid. Nobody got paid. But what I did say, money's got to come from within the culture. So here's the concept, how are we going to pay for it? Because it's got to come from you, not from me. So the first one guy put his hand up and said, hey, I'll give you $14,000. I bought a house, he's about 23 this way. He said, I bought a house, I can buy 14,000, give it to you. Sweet, it's the first 14,000 we got. Another one put his hand up and said, I got a house too. Right, they're all under 23. And he goes, I'll give you $6 grand. Another one said, I got $5 grand, I'll give you that. Others said, oh, look, they gave us computers, they gave everything, all the business equipment, and beautiful artwork. Right, and then we've got these three-story high buildings. I'll show you that on the PowerPoint presentation today. And we're feeding the homeless, getting the food from the local cafes and restaurants and saying, hey, we're all these homeless young people, can we have your leftover food at 5 o'clock? And they said, yeah, come and get it, take as much as you want. So we took everything, put $10 buns, and it was still fresh food, right? It's only 5 o'clock in the day. 7 o'clock we're down there at the railway station, Joondalup, feeding the young people on the streets. And they're lovely. And we're back by the local restaurants and whatnot. So, other things that we did, I'm going to mention in the video, I don't need to go into it right now. We had our own rapid suicide response and recovery. We had our own drug rehabilitation and recovery. We had our own mini national park with the bush camps to take them up on the weekends, take them back to country, connect them back to the wilderness and the wildlife. And it was beautiful, camping out for 2 or 3 days and putting them through leadership and team building, which is the basic concepts for family. And so they learn how to lead, they learn how to be team players, and that was really important in their lives. So these are the sort of things that we did. And as I say, when you hear this story, I'm doing the video today with the PowerPoint presentation. When you hear this story, you are going to love it, because here's a question for you. What charity do you know out there where the president can just ring the housing minister and say, I need a house today because I've got a homeless person in crisis, and the minister jumps to it and orders one of her departments to give me the house that I want, in the area that I want, and take my pick. And that's how it worked. You see, how many charities, you see, because my people said to me, when I ran the charity, oh, we're going to get a psych report, and we're going to get a doctor's report, and then we're going to go to Homes West, and we're going to beg and grovel. Homes West, by the way, is the state housing. They change its name every 3 years because it's always got a bad name. So, it's like a politician for you. So anyway, they say, oh yeah, we'll get a doctor's report about this homeless person and all these other things, the psych reports. No, don't worry about that. Don't go down there. I'll get it for you. So I ring the housing minister, oh yeah, I'm back. Oh no, give him what he wants. Oh, I says, yeah, okay. Go take your pick. So we just go down there. So you can go down, don't worry about that report. Don't hear reports, just get home to us and tell them, been sent here from the minister and you can give us a house or you get sacked. That's how it works. So we put our young people into housing, and then we also had the backup of the rich because we had such a good name. And because you see, the thing about it wasn't any money in it. I wasn't making any money. None of our team made any money. And because we weren't making any money, and because the money came from within the culture, and when everybody found out on the media that I gave my time for free for a whole year, because I could, and our young people financed it, the community backed us. Big time. This wasn't government money, this wasn't corporate money. No. The money came from within the culture. Beautiful culture. In trouble, and we solved the problems. We got in there and we did it. And I'll tell you why. I was able to ring up any government department and say, oh yeah, I'm from the multi-charity, I'm the president, and this is what I want. And they say, oh, when do you want it? I'm going to tell you how we did that. So the police went to a special drug summit, and Deputy High Commissioner gave me his business card. He said, "Here's my card. Any trouble, give me a ring." We did run into trouble, didn't we? Because I had drug rehab centre, and this blooming drug dealer came in, put the heavy word on us. Yeah, threatening us, right? Because we were taking his clients off the drugs. So I just rang this Deputy High Commissioner. Right, he's the second charge of the police force. He scrambled the nearest two cars off the police cars off the job, straight to around to our Wolseley charity. They arrested him, took him away, jailed him. That's how it works. And then when we had a bit of an ice addict bashing up his girlfriend or the wife in front of the children, we just rang the police. They were there in 5 minutes, arrested him. We rushed in, grabbed the wife and the children, took them to a women's refuge. That's how it worked. So how can we run a charity? I make a phone call to police. High Commissioner, we don't go to Central Police. Like, nah, just ring the High Commissioner, man. He was going to the nearest two cars. That's how it worked. What charity do you know has that power to do that? Ours did. What charity do you know that we can order a house? Boom, got it. What charity do you know that has this sort of situation? Had a rich, very, very rich person with a lot of properties rang me up and said, "Oh, look, I just sold a house. It's full of brand new furniture, and I want to give it to your charity because you're a good charity." I said, "Oh, you all right?" "Yeah." And they said, "Come pick it up." I said, "What are we picking up?" She said, "Take the whole house load, everything." So we rocked up, right? Whole house load, beautiful, expensive furniture. I'm not talking ordinary furniture, I'm talking rich people's furniture. $4,000 tiny room suites and lounge suites and fridges, you know. Oh, full house. So anyway, we didn't have anywhere really to store it. And so we put one of our homeless young people into a state house. And we furnished it with this flash furniture. Their friends come in. "Where'd you steal that from?" I was like, "I got it from the Wolseley charity." Yeah. You know, we'd finished the house with the flash furniture. That's just a good story, that one. So, what charity do you know has that ability for the wealthy to ring up and say, "Oh, yeah, come pick this house up. We're not giving it to the religious organisation, we're giving it to you, because you're doing the right thing with the children." So I'm going to tell you about that later on today. So isn't that beautiful? Best business I ever did was no business. There was no money in it. Oh, you've heard. I made a commitment. Yeah, I'll give you a year. I hope you fellas out. Yeah, problem. I'll train you in life skills education. I'll train you in leadership. I'll train you in business. Anything it takes, we'll do. And when you see the premises and the setup we had, you're going to love it. So, you know, best business I ever did was no business. Here we are today, mucking around, not at the 4-foot line, but the bankers on the right, on the table on the right, stuffing us around. So I'm changing the ball game, going back to the 4-foot line, looking after our children in crisis here in Perth. 2,600 homeless children in crisis under the age of 12. This government doesn't give a hoot. We're going to expose it. We're going to expose it to this fellow in the lounge here. He's going to wrap it. You wait till he gets a hold of them, man. He's going to destroy this government's reputation. Big time. He don't give a hoot. I can see he's got martial arts. He got black belt, a couple of martial arts, right? So my team I'm bringing in, we all got martial arts. At the age of 14, we're all into martial arts. We've all got several martial arts under our belts. You see, and this is why I'm going for the champions to start the nucleus of this organisation to help our children. And you start with the champions, because the champions attract champions. The champions will also go the extra mile. They'll get up for 5 o'clock in the morning, go for a 10-mile run to stay fit. They won't go out on the booze in the evenings, they're down the gym, pumping weights to get their strength up and their endurance. Right? They're not squandering all their money on alcohol and drugs because they're focused on their martial arts. Because in the world of martial arts, particularly boxing, which I excelled in, you take a week off from the training, you can get thrashed in the third round, right? In amateur boxing, that's a lot harder than the professional boxing because it's full on. So you can win in the boxing ring just on fitness alone, because in the third round he drops his guard. That's how they got him. So the champions at age 14 are the ones that I'm looking for. And right there in my lounge, I got the best rapper ever walked out of New Zealand. He can rap. And he's willing to do what I said, because, what I said to him was, okay, bro, I'll put you in front of 100 million people for the first concert, live streaming virtual reality music concerts, and you're going to become really, really famous very quick, right? Because I'm the promoter, so I can put you as the lead act on the 36 concerts. You'll be really famous. 2 billion people are going to see you perform. These are the virtual reality music superstars of the future. They have far more fans than Taylor Swift and these hip hop rappers and all that. We have far more fans than the old school rap, R&B, even than the Beatles. So, particularly through Instagram blogs. So, here we have the new breed of virtual reality music superstars. And I said to the bro, bro, the thing about rappers is everybody's misled. They think gangster rap's a good stuff. They think you're killing people because you're gutless and you pull a knife and a gun, or you bring in the mob. Why don't you do it yourself? That's what we did back in the day. So the new breed, they're courageous. I said, bro, the first thing is this. We'll put you in front of all these billions of people, make you famous, right? But don't think about you can get any bling, and you can drive around in limos and all this other rubbish and this high life and all the drugs and the parties, because the moment you use drugs, you're out. We don't want your business. So here's the deal. To do things our way, we'll make you famous, we'll train you, we'll get you bring in the music production masters, everything, do everything in virtual reality. And here's the deal. We'll supply all the transportation, all your accommodation, all your food, maids, you name it. You don't have to do anything, cooking, nothing. We all supply. And you don't have to travel live out of briefcase. No, we can do everything from here, live stream, to as many people as we want from our own private concert venue. So there's the deal, and lead a crazy life. But the most you're ever going to make is $300,000 a year. Anything over and above that, right, goes to our children's charity, and you're going to be making billions. That's the deal. Do you want it, or do you not want it? He said to me, he said, bro, I couldn't think of anything better. You're on. You're hired. So he's happy with that. He's not interested in the bling and the fame, fortune. His goal is to make 1 million children happy. We do that with the happy training curriculum. That's the 4-foot line, by the way. We'll teach you about that later. So there you go. Top rapper coming out of New Zealand. He's young. He's Maori. Right. He's a champion. He's got martial arts. Just like me. And the rest of our teams coming around us, the champions. And that's how you start. Champions attract champions. Whereas you start with a bunch of losers, they're going to attract all the losers and cause you heaps of trouble. And instead of getting out for just 10 mile run in the morning, being up to the gym in the evening, no, they're getting stoned first thing in the morning and in the evening, wasting all their money, committing crimes. Champions don't do that. Champions will make the sacrifice. They'll work all night. They'll train hard. They'll go the extra mile. Right? That's why you start with the champions, the winners. That's what we're doing. So you can follow us, the 12 champions, right? Coming together to attract the champions, to help our children in crisis. And that's what we're doing with our Operation Wolsey. So you see we've got the Wolsey charity there. We're running off the basics of that, but we're running not as a charity because you're going to get the screws put on you, which is what we had. And the government gets dirty. Right. So you don't want government money, you don't want government intervention, we don't need the research stats. No, you just need to get out there and help the children. And when I went to Passages, who's the first step for children who are homeless, 3 times in that half-hour discussion I had with them, they know what the children in crisis need. 3 times the boss said to me, Hemi, get them off the streets. 3 times for emphasis, get them off the streets. And then when I did the research and talked to one of the people at the coalface of the community, I found out about these traps and what was happening to these young girls. Now I can't mention his name, he can lose his job. So he did tell me, no, this is the reality. This is what's happening. They're getting raped, pack raped. And he even mentioned the race or the nationality of these horrible immigrants that have come in that are leading it. They give a hoot about our Indigenous young girls, So this is a problem. Anyway, we're going to deal with it. We're going to put immense pressure on the police to clean it up because the police are involved in the drug distribution and we know this, we can prove it. So, it's just really indecent what's happening out there. So the 4-foot line is for us. Forget about Africa for the moment. Help our children in crisis here. Get them off the streets. You see some of our videos on the accommodation precincts. We're negotiating with BGC at the moment to get them off the streets. We don't want any more freezing to death out the front of a public building like the library in Armidale, and we've got to do it now. So I'm putting aside this conference, Sustainable Nation Building Conference. We'll do it another way at another time, because that is working at the desk on the right with the bankers, depending on them and everybody else for the funding, because it's a huge high cost project. So we're going back to the 4-foot line, which is helping our children in crisis, and then bringing in sponsors to help them, and allowing our followers to tell their friends, follow us. Follow Operation Wolsey. Alright, it's basically the Wolsey charity being reduplicated, even the same buildings were utilised, except it's a Maori corporation running it in a very, very decent way because they care. And Fraser Tahoe's going to lead the way as the CEO. I'm going to concentrate on the Live Aid benefit concerts and working with my rappers and training them in the Happy Training curriculum, and also doing new music when our music production masters are working together with these live streaming the concerts. So I'll letting Fraser run everything, and he's got a dynamic team coming in with him to help these children in crisis. And we've got to start. I just got contacted yesterday by Jerry Georgadis from the Human Rights Alliance. He asked me, look, have you got any young Maoris who are homeless at the moment, up to 18 years of age? He says, I've got accommodation for them right now. Right, and I said, thank you, Jerry, I'll get onto it. So, you've got to look after your own. So I'm coming back to the 4-foot line, which is looking after our own. We're looking after our children in crisis right here, right now in Perth. So that's me there. I'll do another video later.